Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today we have Honesty Hour, because I feel like a lot of the problems that result in Dead by Daylight as well come from this idea of the fact that we don't really analyze our own bad habits with the game. Not even just from a skill perspective, but just bad takes, bad habits, the bad emotional responses that build up over time and kind of like permanently tilt us in a way. They kind of give us like a permanent tilt when it comes to the game and really causes the game to become a very, very negative experience for us, even if we do like the game for the most part. So today's Honesty Hour, I'm going to admit three bad things that I do in Dead by Daylight, 3 bad habits that I do all the time that makes the game more miserable for me, and I should probably stop soon. And the point of this is maybe, you can introspect as well and look at maybe 2 or 3 things that maybe you're doing that are bad habits in Dead by Daylight, so you can analyze those as well, because, man, it's hard to just look inside and go, man, I'm doing something completely wrong and stupid, so maybe I'll take the first step, and you can look at me be stupid first, right? Okay, number 1, I say gen rush way too much. I get that there is like an actual like situation that is actually gen rushing, right? Like, they're bringing multiple proved life cells, they're bringing BNPs, they're bringing toolboxes. Like, there is actual gen rushing that does exist in the game, but by and large, gen efficiency does not always equal gen rush. Honestly, like, gens are theoretically the main thing to do in the game. I can disagree with that up and down. I can be mad about that all I want. Literally all I want. I can be like, that's so boring. It's so boring to sit on a gen and hold M1. It doesn't really matter though. Like, because that is the main objective of the game. And I can't, like, nobody can change that. That is the main objective of the game. You can be like, it's boring, all you want, but it's not gonna change, right? The gens are the main objective. So naturally, survivors are gonna wanna do them in an efficient manner because that's how they win. And people like winning, and that'll never change. Winning will always be in style. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to win. And I say gen rush way too much. I always just freak out and be like, they're gen rushing me. And it's like, yeah, of course, that's what they're supposed to do, right? Like, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do the gens efficiently and leave. And it's more of just, I guess, just me being unhappy with losing. I think that's just what it is. I think I like playing Dead by Daylight, and when the way the game goes, when you're losing, you're like not seeing anybody, right? Like, it's like the match just kind of happens in the background without your input, and it's frustrating. So I guess I just call out gen rush just because I'm mad, and not really because it's actually, the archetypical like super duper gen rush. I think it's just more of the fact that I'm just mad in the moment, and I'm like, they're doing the gen so fast, they don't want to stick around. Like, it's just me like freaking out. It doesn't really have any credence to it. And I feel like I see this like not only with me, but with like a lot of like killer mains that stream or make content for this game, is they just kind of like, anytime gens start to slightly go even slightly fast or even slightly efficient, they're like, boom, gen rush, hit the gen rush button, they're gen rushing me. And it's just like, I don't know, I think it's a bad habit that a lot of us have. So I hope I can get rid of that, and hope you can too. Okay, number 2, I get sus way too easily. Now, that being said, like, I made that video, I think it was last week, where I was talking about how, like, yeah, there's thousands and thousands of hackers in this game. So it's actually pretty common that you're probably going to be running into soft hackers. Even if you don't notice them, they're probably soft hackers in a good portion of your games. If there are that many accounts out there, that's fair. But also, I get into this situation where, call it paranoia or irritation, I almost always go there. I'm like, oh, they did that gen slightly fast, or they turned that corner really quickly. And most of the time it's just Dead by Daylight things, to be honest. It's mostly just like, like, oh, well, they had a lag spike, so they just rubber banded it a little bit, and that's the only reason they did that. Or like, they like got a lag spike in the middle of their dead hard, so it just like went a weird direction, or it was longer slightly for some reason, and it's just like, well, that's sus. That's really sus. That's really sus. Like, I always assume soft hacking. Like, at this point, like, I'm just so paranoid now that I just assume soft hacking at like everything, and it's just like, I don't. It's one of those things where I don't really have a frame of reference to like how much it's actually happening. I have caught people actually cheating like a couple times, but I've like, in terms of actually like going in and like analyzing everything, like I've I don't do that. Like I'm just kind of like in a space where I just don't really know how to correctly identify soft hacking unless they actually make it obvious. And I just but I always assume it all the time anyway, even if I don't know how to correctly identify that. I think that's a really bad habit, you know. And then once again, you know, so this is probably going to be the return comment down below is like, well, you know, it's not your job to be able to correctly identify hacks. That's behavior's job. And I agree with you. I agree with you with that. But I should still stop just like shouting sus every single time that something weird happens that I don't directly understand. So, yeah. Number 3, I think in general with the game, sometimes I take a really sour attitude. It's not all the time, but I take a really, really sour attitude. And by sour attitude, I mean, I guess it's entitlement. I guess it's entitlement, but it's not in the aggressive way that I see a lot of players have. But I do have a sense of like sour entitlement towards my idea of how the game works. And I kind of mentioned that earlier. As I go on these like very like high and mighty, like, you know, like the chase is the only thing that's different about Dead by Daylight. So I don't know why people don't focus on it. And I think that curbs my attitude. It makes it very, very sour. Because when I'm playing the game and people aren't, you know, participating in chase, like, it freaks me out. It makes me mad. It irritates me. Like, I'm like, dude, like, this is the only thing that this game does different than other games. You're literally, without chasing, you're just playing a mobile game, right? Because holding M1 on gens is not that interesting, or holding M1 to get somebody off like holding Shift W to someone and pulling them off hook with the M1 button is not, that's not gameplay to me, you know. But like that's an okay opinion to have, but like when I go into games, I have that opinion. I have that kind of like that chip on my shoulder because I think I have like such a good idea about the game and are seeing the game for what makes it cool. And when people don't play by the way that I see the game, where they start immersing or only using like meta perks to second chance all of the situations that are fun about the game, it makes me really, really angry. And it makes me really, really angry. And it really, really irritates me. And I have this like really sour attitude about the game when I play sometimes, because if people aren't playing by my, not even my rules, but just like my view of the game and what makes it fun, it irritates me. It frustrates me. Because I'm like, I didn't even see this. Like, I'll say this all the time. Like, I didn't even see that there was a Dwight in this match. I didn't even know there was a Dwight in this match. He just did gens and hid. Like, that's it. And I don't get really like mad about it. And it's just like, maybe that's fun for him. And that's hard to say. That's hard to like look yourself in the eye and be like, he's allowed to just immerse on gens and not interact. If he had a good time, he's allowed to do that, you know? Like if that's what makes him happy, that Dwight's allowed to just immerse and do gens. He can do that. Maybe he had a challenge and he just wanted to get his challenge done. Who knows? And I think that I need to stop having this kind of like bitter attitude towards people that like don't want to chase or try to like speed run the game. And just like, it's okay. Like, this game has an enormous player base, even though it's dwindling. I know it's on a downward slope, but it's still top 25 games on Steam. Like, that's still incredible. That's still an incredible popularity. So with a game that popular, there's going to be so many different ideas about how the game is and how it should be conducted. And there's nothing we can do to really create some sort of like general idea on how like the game should be conducted. So it's just impossible to do that with that many people. So I feel like it's pointless to get bitter or sour if like people play in what I consider to be a very, very unfun and uninteresting way. But yeah, those are my 3 bad habits that I have when I'm playing DBD. What are your 3 bad habits? Do you have something that you do that you're like, man, I really shouldn't be doing that and I should really get off this track, but I don't really know how to? Do you have a habit like that? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully this helped you, friend. And if it didn't, I'm sorry. I don't know. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. And if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Bye-bye.